Welcome to the ITM podcast.
This is episode 287 of the ITM podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. My name is Joe Copponi. That's Scott Neville. Scott, how are you?
Dude, I'm not thrilled to be in a sweatshirt again. I thought we were done with this. I thought it was summer. It wasn't summer, but like it started to be warm in April. So I was like, we're doing this. We're doing summer. Mm-hmm. You know, I've had Saturdays where I've been outside in a t-shirt all day. And now we're doing sweatshirts again. And we're doing it all weekend. We're
doing raincoats, dude. I don't know if you've seen, we got a nor'easter. I didn't even know nor'easters happened outside of the winter.
Yeah, and with rain. Yeah, we're doing a rain nor'easter tomorrow.
Is that not called like a hurricane or a tropical storm? Is it not the same thing? Is it just not? Scott?
Dumbest thing about my apartment, by far. Super cool apartment. For some reason, they made it all electrical. So, like, electric stove, all that stuff. Not thrilled with that. But by far the worst part is for some reason, because it's all connected and it's not like battery powered, when we lose power, which happened yesterday for no reason, it was middle of the day, nothing was happening.
Skies are blue, birds are chirping. Yeah.
It wasn't windy. The fire alarm goes off the entire time that the power is out. So we have to just leave.
And you would have to do that in a nor'easter.
Should happen.
Should that
tomorrow.
happen in the next 48 hours?
It should happen tomorrow. Yeah, I don't have a plan for that to happen. I don't even know what I would do because my car is going to be in the garage. I don't even know how I would. I guess you can manually do that somehow. I've never tried that. I'm pretty sure there's a manual way to do that with garage. I didn't grow up with a garage.
You just lift it up, I think. The door, you just lift it up with your hands, your arms mainly. Don't do it with your back, with your legs and your arms.
Right. Is it that it's not that hard to do that?
No, it's not that heavy. It's on a pulley system.
So couldn't people just like break in super easy?
Yeah.
Okay. Because another fun fact about this place is that it doesn't have a lock on the door that's attached to the garage.
Yeah. So definitely don't give out your address on this show. 528 South Main Street, Medford, Massachusetts. Don't give it out on here.
I wasn't planning on it.
Well, too late. So the Red Sox won the series. They lose the finale. Weird series, dude. Lots of stuff going on in this one. This was an entertaining one, except for the last one. The last game, for whatever reason, Tyler Megill somehow got to the Boston Red Sox and looked like prime Verlander or something. Just absolutely unhittable after two games where I thought they were generating, get this, some momentum. I thought they were doing it. I fell for it.
What'd I tell you?
I know.
This is a no momentum team. We don't do that, good or bad.
The thing is, every game is a coin flip. But when you get two heads in a row, you start to think, oh, I figured it out. I know how to flip the coin to get heads every time now. No, dude. It's a 50-50 shot. You happen to get two wins back to back, and they're not going to put anything together. No help from the umpiring in this series, which is where I want to start. That's exactly where we can talk about Corchet getting pulled. We can talk about bullpen usage. I'm sure that'll be like a majority of the show. There's a lot of stuff going on there. The umpiring in the series, bad in game one, noticeably bad. But game two, the ejection of the year, that is the highlight of this series to me. And I think to most people, I think that's what's going to stick around. When you think back to this Mets series, you're going to be like, that's when Buehler and Cora got tossed. Mike Estabrook just straight up tried to fight Walker Buehler. That's what happened in front of our eyes there. That was stunning, dude. That it honestly, in the moment, the feeling that I got matched only by like the 2017, 2018, the Joe Kelly fight. It was that same feeling of feeling.
That was 18 because it was the year they won.
It was. I thought it might have been 17. I don't know why, but it was a very similar feeling of that there is a villain on my screen. and my team was wronged. And my team stood up for themselves. And fuck yeah, they did. And they're going to be punished for it. But that I still have to look at that villain. All wrong. I hated the way it was handled entirely by the whole umpiring crew. Obviously, mainly Mike Estabrook, not Esterbrook. Estabrook, as in this brook in Spanish. I don't know if I've ever seen an umpire charge the mound like that. Spanish
for the first word, English for the second word. This brook, if this was Spanish and Brook was English, then it would be Esta. Yeah.
It's like if Brook was a name, you know?
Right.
Like, no este Brook, esta Brook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen an umpire charge the mound like that. That's what I was saying. That was that was crazy.
I feel like it's an unwritten rule that you never eject a starting pitcher because that has ramifications well beyond just like one game. As we saw, but like that screws up an entire week for a team, and also, not that he's thinking about this in the moment, but with Buehler specifically, that was essentially a rehab outing, and now he's, he's screwed. I mean that not he's screwed, but like it screwed him up, and it was a shame because that was maybe going to be the best start of his life. I don't know, it seemed like it was going well.
I mean, he looks great. And he also, dude, he's a dude. Like, Will put this the best. I'm basically ripping off exactly what he said, but it's the fucking Leo meme. It's like Lou said this, and I was like, exactly. That's my thoughts and emotions put into words. Walker Buehler is a dude. You know, he might not be a guy, but he's a dude. He's been around long enough where he can stand on the mound and say something as innocent as, that was right down the fucking middle. Which we know from the UmpCam audio getting leaked. Thank you to SNY. Their broadcast rocks. We just know that that's exactly what he said. He was standing on the mound and said, ball, that was right down the middle. That was right down the fucking middle. And that was enough for Estabrook to pop the mask off, charge at him, and look for a fight, and then get it, and then toss him. Like, I don't know. It's like putting your hands up, getting punched, and then saying, what'd you do that for? It's like, you came out looking for an argument. What are you talking about? Made no sense. But I will say, on the whole, obviously didn't work out great in game 3. Your bullpen is now kind of fucked, and the shortened Crochet start didn't help. We'll get to that. But seeing the guys get fired up, somebody on the field get fired up, amazing. Just needed it for the vibes. And to see Cora get like that, because it's not often. He even said in his post game, he's like, I'm not a guy who like loses my cool a lot, and like people say I maybe should more. Like I don't know if I really hear that, but he's a guy who does keep his cool for the most part. But when he loses it, and it's awesome. And the second he came up the stairs, I'm like, oh yeah, Cora's gone too. Fuck yeah, like he's gonna get.
Of course.
I was like, I want him to get every penny's worth too. I wish he stayed out there longer. I wish he, threw dirt on the plate. I wish he got every ounce out of the ejection, but they needed it. And it was such a guarantee they were going to win that game after that. It was like, if you guys don't turn this into a win, you're just like not a serious baseball team. Like that's a game that you find a way to win no matter what. Like, your number 2 starter just comes back from a month-long rehab and gets tossed in after 2 1/3.
Yep.
And then your manager goes for the first time this season. You fucking simply have to win that game.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I saw a video that was going around because Lucas Sims just got signed by the Phillies. I think it's a minor league deal. There was a point where he was upset that they weren't in a rain delay. He felt like there should have been a rain delay, and he was out there. And every single ball the ump threw him, he just kept throwing to the ball boy. And he did it like 10 times. Yeah. That was okay. This was he correctly saying, hey, you missed that call. Wow. And this whole thing about if you're off the mound arguing balls and strikes, that's like he was, you get off the mound when somebody throws a baseball through, like, I don't know if anyone's ever been on a baseball field before, but when you're pitching and a catcher throws the second, you have to move off the mound. He wasn't charging the ump. He did the sidestep that you have to do to not get hit by a baseball. And then just being like, hey, that was a strike. Like, I don't even think it was so much. I mean, yes, it was an argument saying that was right down the middle. But to me, that's almost like, are you sure it's too, like, because obviously they're not going to make a call while a play is in action. And so I feel like that was almost like confirmation, like not like to say that he said it with like is that a ball or a strike, but like just being like, what do you mean? That was right down the middle. He's off the mound because he doesn't want to get drilled by the throw to second, which you have to do. And then yeah, like he charges him, and of course at that point, like there's going to be an ejection. It's just that was one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. Everyone's talked about it. There's really nothing to add, I feel like, but again, just the importance of that ejection versus ejecting shortstop in the middle of a game. Like that literally, I mean, this is the reason the Red Sox lost today.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Is the reason that they will go into the next series taxed.
Yeah. And I think it's the easiest thing to correct when you don't have a small, fragile ego. Like there's this clip from last year, maybe the year before, of Nick Pivetta, who famously keeps his cool, never blows his top. Who got mad at an umpire for a call. And the umpire was like, get back on the mound. It's 2-1 or whatever, Yeah. And then after the inning's over, as he's walking in the dugout, umpire finds him and he says, hey, sorry, I missed that one. Nick says, it's all good. He's like, just wanted to let you know, I'll have you next time. Missed that one. So don't worry about it. You're good. That's all it takes. Is like, hey, I said what I said. Get back on the mound. And then afterwards, own it up, being like, hey, I'm seeing hundreds of pitches tonight. Missed that one. That one's on me. We're all good. Thanks. Appreciate it.
That probably wasn't a Laz Diaz crew.
Dude, what a draw of the cards to have those first two umps, and then you face the final boss of Laz Diaz afterwards. Like, that's just poetry. After the Estabrook game, to be like, and now we have Diaz behind the mound, who just has not improved. He has shown no signs of improvement. If he was in kindergarten, he would be held back. They'd be like, look, listen, we're not seeing much improvement here. I don't know what to do. The umpires union has got to be putting the Teamsters to shame. Like, they've got to be the strongest union in the country, because these guys they're supposed to be the best umpires in the world. And like, I have a wicked hard time believing that they are. These are the best. And like, I get it, 98% accuracy, 96%, whatever. But some of the ones they miss, holy fucking shit, man. You guys are not making a case for yourself for ABS. Like, it is so obviously going to come into the league soon.
Bregman, like, got absolutely screwed today. Tough day for him to have the worst game of his career. But, like, man, did he get screwed in big spots. I mean, the last time he earned that last strikeout, that fourth one, that was him being wrong. But still, yeah, just some really important mistakes by the umps this series. I think that's the biggest difference from like there's always going to be mistakes by the umps on both sides. Really pivotal.
Yeah, wicked pivotal.
I was trying to say wicked pivotal in these situations. It's such a pivotal spot there to make a mistake.
Yeah. And Campbell had him twice in 1AB in game 2. Yeah.
And if that happens, it happens. But when you inject yourself into the game like that, and now, like, you can point to this point in the season and be like, Chapman is getting used a lot, where everyone's going back to back. There was almost had to use Whitlock back to back despite the arm injury. Just a lot that happened, and a loss today that was almost inevitable because of that. Would have helped if they got some runs, but also they might have been able to do that had they not had strikes called them that were 3 feet outside the zone when in big spots and your best hitter on the team up.
Yeah. I had this in the empty brain of thoughts, but I'll say it now just because we're talking about Alex Bregman and the game that he had today. 4 strikeouts. First time in his career. 4 strikeouts in a game. That's cool. Pretty crazy. Also, his batting average under 300 for the first time since April 21st. Exactly 1 month to the day.
People are talking about paying this guy?
Yeah, get him out of here. The guy batting 298. No, thank you. One last thing on the ejection thing. I don't want to go all too long on it, but last thing, I didn't care much about the Lindor stuff. I saw some people kind of worked up about Francisco Lindor, like saying like, get him out of here, get him out of here. That felt more playful than anything. Like Lindor and Cora are buddies. They went and got breakfast this morning. So I don't know. I didn't think anything of it when I saw it. I just kind of thought like, it's Lindor. I also don't think of Lindor as a villain. I just think he's a star.
I don't either. I missed that somehow yesterday. I will say, as much as it was incredible to have the audio of the ejection in the POV, overall, a pretty bad job by all broadcasts live to show that. I like the Lindor stuff. I didn't see at all until today. I didn't care for it. I feel like that was kind of like. Did you see what Bueller did? By the way, I thought this was. Actually, I have one more thing about this. Yep. Bueller had an interesting. Typically you get mad, you say something, and then you cool off, and then you're like, maybe I went too far. He took a weird approach to this, but I actually loved it. When he was asked after the game, he was kind of like, look, the umps don't have a chance to talk to reporters. I do, so I'm not going to say anything. Like, I can give my side. He can't really defend himself. I'm a veteran. I can't be making those mistakes. I can't get ejected in that spot. It hurts the team, all this stuff.
Right.
Then he goes on Twitter today, or I guess, it was at 2:06 a.m. last night. Jordan Moore had talked about, Lindor leaning into a pitch before like a loser, and then he was talking shit, screaming, rooting for the ejection. Bueller said, I wouldn't want me out there either. Sad thing is the bullpen is full of fucking animals. Tough choice. Which I loved.
Whoa. Did I entirely miss this?
I loved that, being like, hey, I wouldn't want to face me either, but my boys are also filthy. So like that was like the coolest team thing I've seen.
Wow.
A lot of people. It did lead to a lot of Yankees fans pointing out the fact that the Red Sox bullpen leads the league in blown saves. But
don't bring that up.
Love the energy. Love the energy. And then again, after being like, ump doesn't get to talk, he responds to Laz Diaz's comments. So Cotillo tweeted Laz Diaz's comments. He said he can say stuff from the mound, but once he comes off the mound, he's leaving his position to argue balls and strikes. Again, I already talked about how the only reason he was off the mound was to not get killed. He didn't leave the mound.
He was on the dirt. He was on the dirt the whole time.
Yeah. And he said once anybody leaves their position to argue balls and strikes, that's an immediate ejection. Again, left the mound to not get killed, happened to be off the mound when you called out the fact that you got the pitch super wrong. He said, who cut the distance? So he was talking, he did mention that things were, he was charged, basically. So kind of like I thought the operation was strange in the sense of like doing all the right things, which I wouldn't have had any problem with him being like, I got absolutely boned there. But I think it was kind of funny how he said all the right things in the interview and then went on Twitter and was like,
yeah,
just had
That's
stuff
awesome.
to say.
He's like, listen, I'll take your PR training and I'll use it in the moment where I have to. But when you guys turn your back, when y'all are sleeping, I'm going to say what I think.
He got a question. He goes, at 2 a.m., I'm going to go off about this. Oh, wait till you guys go to bed. I'm going to freak out about this. But yeah, I thought one of the cooler tweets out there to be like, I wouldn't want to face me, but I also wouldn't want to face, the boys in the bullpen. So tough call by Lindor.
Yeah. So I'm watching it back again just to be ultra scrupulous.
Okay.
Bueller's on the dirt when the umpire
He's not
puts
on
his
the.
helmet down
He's
and
on the
steps towards
dirt.
him.
He's not on the mound.
The dirt is the mound.
No, yes, but my point is again. First of all, he's beside it, not in front of it,
Yeah.
and it's literally because he had to. Was he supposed to walk back up to the mound after he got, to not get decapitated, and then go up to the mound and then be like, "Hey, now that I'm touching the mound, can I say something?"
Yeah, John Boy put out their thing a couple hours ago. Their lip read.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's nothing egregious. Well, Bueller doesn't say anything. Says all the things. That's right down the middle, buddy. That's right down the middle. I love the buddy.
Yeah.
Right down the middle. Hey, get back on the mound. Get back on the fucking mound. What? I'll call the game. You throw the game. It's right down the fucking middle. I'll call the game. You throw the game. That's right down the fucking middle. I'll tell you, get out of the fucking game.
And 90% of that he was charging.
Yeah.
Like after the buddy, I think it was when the mask came off.
Buddy is a funny way to be like, hey, listen, I know if I curse at you, I'm getting tossed. But I can be like, hey, sweet pea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, bumblebutt. Hey, sweetheart. I don't know. You can call the ump anything you want as long as you don't curse. I think that's the rule. Actually, I know that's not the rule at all. They can toss you for just being ugly if they want to.
Do whatever they want.
Which is why you didn't make it. Boom. Gotcha.
Oh, come on, Joey.
Yeah, because you're fucking ugly, bro. I've been telling you this, man.
Shut up.
You know who
Shut up.
You know who else is ugly?
You?
Anybody who doesn't use no, wait. No. No, not that.
You said yeah.
Anybody who doesn't use Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Turn your playoff hot takes into tickets to basketball's championship series. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you into the Takes Two Tickets sweepstakes, which could get you and a +1 a VIP trip to the ship. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. And when you download the app, why don't you do me a favor? Use the code CLNS, and you'll get $50 literally instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
Well, if you win.
Nope. Instantly. You get it instantly. You play right your first $5 lineup with code CLNS. Before it even hits, before it wins or loses, you instantly get 50 big ones, 50 smackaroons, 50 American dollars. When you play your first $5 lineup, code CLNS, Prize Picks, run your game. We could have sat on it a little bit longer on the guaranteed bit. I just didn't feel like it today because I wanted to talk about Juan Soto looking like dog shit. Dude, that's what I got to say about Juan Soto. Non-competitive at bats, especially today against Crochet. Everybody has already noticed this. Not pointing out anything new. Doesn't hustle out of the box. The Soto shuffle is gone. He hasn't done it once since becoming a Met, apparently. Where is any of his aura, of his swag, of his whatever? Where is Juan Soto? It's entirely gone. If you grab somebody off the street, Scott, who is not a sports fan, and you sat them down and you said, that right there is the highest paid. That man right there just received the largest sports contract in North American sports history, like 3-4 months ago. They would watch that game and then ask you why. It's crazy. It's unbelievable, man. It's Mets fans are in a weird spot because like they're winning games. They're really good. They're in first. But also the guy that they just poured a life savings into is it just carries this weird I don't want to be a Met thing around with him. Do you feel that? Is that crazy?
765 million. You call that life savings? Maybe your life savings, not mine. Good year, maybe.
Good week.
To answer your question, yeah, he clearly hates being a Met. He's pretty vocal about it. It's kind of strange. One of the more stranger developments I've seen in baseball. Very weird to do 2 months into, what, a 14-year contract to be so
15.
vocal about it? Okay, sure, why not? I will say, I think his production element is getting a little overblown again. We're in technically month 3, but really month 2 of a 15-year deal, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He has an 803 OPS. He's hitting 243, but he's got 8 homers and an 803 OPS. Like his average has never been consistent. So I don't know why. I don't know what people were expecting, but he hit 242 in 2022. I guess that's really the only. It's always different. 292, 282, 351 in 2020. That was a good couple months. 313.
58 games or whatever. Yeah.
He went 21. He went 313, 22, 242, 23, 275, 24, 288. So there's no his career average is 283, but he's just all over the spectrum. But his OPS has always been really, really high. Like even when he hit 242, he still had an 853 OPS, which is very high considering. And a 401 on base percentage with a 242 on batting average is insane. This year he's got 374 on base percentage. Again, not going to have Judge behind you anymore. But I don't know. I think he's going to be a very good baseball player. I think it's very weird that he's had comments that are a little strange about wanting to be on the Yankees. Like, why didn't you just sign with the Yankees?
It's weird. It's all very weird. And I don't like the way Yankee fans are handling it. I don't like the way Soto's handled it. It's all gross. And the thing is, I want to like the Mets because they're the Red Sox of New York. That's who they are.
Sure.
I believe it or not, was not alive in 1986. I have no kind of ill will towards the Metropolitans.
You're not upset by that still?
I wasn't even a twinkle in my teenage father's balls.
86, you said?
Yeah.
He would have been at least 10.
Nope. Negative.
How old are
10.
you?
Not that old. I'm in my 20s.
You're not. Really?
I'm in my 20s. Yeah, I'm in my 20s.
Okay.
I can still say that. So I'm in my 20s. Thank you for asking. I'm in my 20s. I'm young. I'm spry. I'm in my 20s right now. I want to like the fucking Mets, man. And they're making it kind of hard. Or Juan Soto is making it kind of hard. But also, Mets fans are making me flip the other way and be like, no, you guys, I'm with you guys. I'm still with you guys. But I want to like the product on the field. I want to like them because in the past few years, Scott, they've been on national television come that fun month of October. Red Sox, not so much. Not so much.
I think the weird thing about Mets fans right now is you like to always use these analogies. I feel like they're like it's like a jealous girlfriend. Like they got him, but they're checking his texts all the time, being like, "Who are you? Are you still talking? You're still talking about Aaron?" Like,
but the thing is, he is still talking about Aaron.
Yeah,
and they're kind of right to be like, you're just acting different. Like you're just acting weird.
You just seem like you had more life with them,
And he's like, "What are you talking? Like I have an 820 OPS. What are you talking about?"
And they're like, "You haven't shuffled in a while. Why aren't you shuffling for me?"
I'm saving the shuffle. I'm saving it for Let me just bust it out at any old moment. It's May. Like give me time.
Do it all the time.
I don't know. It's all new. It's all fresh to me.
I feel like you used to do it all the time. When you were happier.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even remember doing that. And it's fucking weird, man. It's just weird. Like he doesn't even celebrate shit. Like I don't know. He hits a homer, he just rounds the bases, goes back in the dugout. It's very weird. I don't know. I get what Mets fans are upset about now after watching the series. Like, I'll tune in here and there for an inning or two of a Mets game. But this was maybe the second or third, like at the beginning of the series. Like maybe I had watched 2 or 3 prior Mets games in full. And but this was a new level of Soto looking like crap. The other thing that's probably more pressing, and probably should have led with this before the Juan Soto thing. Bullpen was short because of the ejection. Corchet went short, apparently by design, which is a decision for sure. Garrett Corchet goes 5 1/3 innings tonight. Chris Cotillo tweeted, quote, Cora said it was a predetermined shorter outing for Crochet today and basically was a bad break that came after 2 bullpen heavy days. Crochet said he wasn't aware of the plan, is frustrated as a competitor, but understands. If you look at Crochet's pitch count over, I guess you got to type in more than Crochet if you want to Google Garrett Crochet. If you look at his pitch total over the past couple of outings, you'll see exactly why. His last time out, 103 against the Braves. Against the Royals, he went 106. And tonight, nobody knows. Nobody knows it because it takes everybody a year and a half to get an answer to such a question. So they had him on short. They had him on a short leash. 5 1/3 innings.
85
today.
Do
I think he could have finished the 6th? Yeah.
He was throwing on average, I believe, before today's start, 12 more pitches per outing than this time last year. Mm-hmm. So I think there is I get that. I do agree that a guy like that, where people forget that last year was his first full year as a starter, and they didn't even, toward the end of last year, he was on a pitch count. So, yeah, it makes sense to kind of like load these games in, but could you have, used, a little, it's called a slight audible, and push that back one more time, especially if you didn't tell him already? I think you could have. I'm not as upset as I should be, because I just keep thinking like we don't need Crochet for May 21st. We need him in August. And we've seen Sale, and we've seen what happens with guys that are aces with an injury history, and when they hit August, September, October, and the problem is they're not there. So, again, would have loved if we waited until next week, because next week, I'm going to say something bold, couldn't be worse. Couldn't be worse. Mm-hmm. Whatever the situation is going into the next Crochet day, can't be worse.
Scott, I'll tell you, the next Crochet day falls game 1 against the Brewers. So,
yeah,
I think that would have been a dandy time. I'll go so far as to say if you let Crochet take this day, like take this the distance, because he is feeling good. He says he's feeling good. Says his stuff is moving the way he wants it to. You let him take this, and even if you straight up skip that Brewers start, I'm okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be.
Then
so
his
cool
next time out
especially
through the rotation is game 3 of the Braves series.
I'll say this:
need him a lot more there.
Other critique that I think that's valid. The critique that they should have had somebody else up with the usage.
Yeah.
Sounds fair. Like Stats was tweeting it. I sounds fair. But let me ask you something. I'm going to talk about the pitchers. I'm not going to talk about the starting rotation, because those options there's so many injuries and stuff that they got to use those for. Like Hunter Dobbins can't be wasting a spot start because Whitlock can't go an extra inning today. So you got to talk about the relievers, right? I'm also going to exclude the ones that pitched tonight, because obviously they were available. So Bernardino pitched tonight. Would you have wanted to get rid of Chapman?
Probably not.
Okay. How about let's see, Justin Slayton?
I'm going to say no.
Greg Weissert?
That maybe feels like the most realistic option that they may have gone with. But
Sure,
no.
he's got 3 ERA this year, but all right, Garrett Whitlock.
No.
I feel like casual fans would say yes to this, but Justin Wilson,
Um.
who you would lose. I doubt he has options. He's 37.
Yeah. No.
He's got 2.25 ERA. So I wouldn't want to lose him. And so yeah, at that point, what do? You hope that Liam Hendricks can get 2 outs before giving up 3 runs.
Liam Hendricks, who before the game
He's complaining. Yeah, he's not happy.
Complained a little bit. Said, quote, "I feel like I haven't been pitching enough. If you want me to be me, I've got to pitch. I'll rust before I wear out, and that's something."
No, he rusted today.
Cora said, pregame, "We have to use him. That's on me. That's on the pitching department. We've got to trust him. There's a reason he's here. Been there, done that. Right now, numbers-wise, he has been solid. The fastball is trending up, which is great. He has been able to bury the slider and the curveball, which is great. We have to use him." So that's just Cora saying, yeah, no, he's right. We got to use him.
5.56 ERA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's really tainted by that first outing. Like,
And
bullpen
today's
ERAs are going to do that, especially this early. Like, I'm going to look up exactly what, like, since that first outing where he had, I guess you'd call it a blow up. It was the White Sox, so I'll consider it a blow up. Since then, up to the Braves start, 186 ERA in 9 2/3.
He has an expected 5.84 ERA this year, though. So it's not even like yeah, that is a classic. I understand it's early. You take out all the bad performances, and he's been good. And he's had more good than
you're taking
bad,
out
but as a
one, and
reliever,
it's his first start in 3 years. I think that's fair. Or first outing.
He has a 186, including today, though?
No.
Okay, so yeah, he's had 2 bad games. If you take those out, there's been 11 games.
It's his first and his last. I'm saying from his first up till today, he had a 186.
Okay, I think he'll be fine. I don't know that he should be probably pitching a little more, but I don't think the usage has been insane. And I get that he wants to pitch, but also like he is coming back from like cancer and Tommy John, so he probably shouldn't be doing back-to-backs right now.
He also, like, his stuff isn't bad. His stuff isn't getting shelled. It's just opportunity. It's just the timing isn't great. Like,
the further removed from Tommy John, the stronger they usually get. So, I mean, I don't mind saving him until about the All-Star break and then let him loose a little bit, but he's got to earn it.
Yeah. We got to talk about your boy.
My boy?
Your boy.
Okay.
Who comes to mind when I say that?
I don't know. Jarren Duran?
Kristian Campbell.
Okay. I wouldn't call him my boy. Love Kristian Campbell. Wouldn't call him my boy, though. Like, I honestly was kind of like, I thought he should have been Meyer on opening day.
Yeah, but since then, you've just been banging this drum that he should be at first base because you fucking love him so much.
Yeah, if I was the first base coach, he'd be my guy.
Well, Campbell been taking more reps at first, but Cora said he is not playing first base in this homestand. It is a 10-game homestand. So
he's never going to play first base. They're going to practice it every day, but we're months away.
Yeah, he's not even close. Part of that was probably because Campbell said the only positions he's never played in his life are catcher, pitcher, and first base. So you can move this guy.
By the way. Mm-hmm. Crazy for a Major League Baseball player to have never pitched. That's the guy that
you do feel like every guy who makes it
AAU
in any position was a pitcher.
Well, like they were everything. Like they were your best player. The best player on every AAU team was the number one pitcher, the shortstop, or if they were a lefty, they were the number one pitcher and a first baseman or center fielder. That's how it should go. And it's insane that they were like he had a major league arm, and they never were like, let's do this. I just thought
Yeah.
that's fast. I'd like to ask him about that because how does he avoid pitching? They the usage of these. He must have had bad coaches growing up. I hope it wasn't his dad. But man, that's
Yeah, that'll
crazy.
affect our chances of getting him on here.
Yeah. Yeah, not close. What did he say? 2.5 out of 10 as far as like progression. Like he said, like, if 10 was like ready for games, he was at like a 2.5 or something like that. Like Cora said.
Yeah,
that.
he said something to that effect, which
It's unfortunate.
I don't know.
It did strike me that they have to teach him like the cutoffs and positioning and stuff like that. Like he does not know how to play
the position. He does not know.
So it is going to take a minute.
You know who probably does know is Trevor Story.
I think he would be equally unequipped.
I have to believe Trevor Story would learn first base faster. He's been in the major leagues as long as Kristian Campbell's been alive. Don't look that up.
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, he would. Like, both of them have been playing baseball their whole lives. Like, I generally know where a cutoff man should be at first base, but I think, there's probably a lot more nuance to it at the major league level, and every team probably does it a little differently in terms of, like, where they want depth. Every outfielder, like, they have a Gold Glove right fielder, an absolute cannon in right field, so it's like that guy's probably going to be a little bit closer to home than if, Verdugo is out there.
Verdugo has a good arm.
Just felt like it. See, Will Fleming took like a bunch of shots at Verdugo.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Someone did like a compilation. It was very funny.
Man, dude. Yeah, when the Red Sox get a bad taste in their mouth about a well-performing all-star outfielder, they just make it very, very clear that they're not going to extend him and would rather get the most out of him before they ultimately let him go.
So when do you think Campbell's going to play?
Well, here's the thing. Him not playing first anytime soon means Meyer's not coming up anytime soon. Oh, and while you're learning first base, Kristian, you're not going to play second base. So let's just fuck up your routine while we're at it. And surprise, you're playing center field today for no fucking reason.
Crazy. They're forcing him in the outfield.
They are fucking this kid up as much as they possibly can. It is actually concerning to me. Like, and the thing is, he's not hitting right now. That's the thing. Like, if he was still mashing and it's like, geez, I guess we can just like do what we want with this kid. And like at the plate, he's going to be at the plate, he's struggling. Enough where
he's missing in the zone, which is tough. Like he struck out today on a ball that was just a fastball in the zone that you just swung through, and it's like, man, that was not happening in April.
No, and like it didn't happen last year in AAA. It didn't happen last year in AA. Like it didn't happen anywhere. His bat to ball was one of the major selling points of Kristian Campbell and why he accelerated as fast as he did. And to bring him up to the major leagues and say, you're the second baseman. No, wait, you're the center fielder. No, wait, you're the first baseman. Actually, you're going to be in center today. You're in second tomorrow. You're still learning first. Seems to not be having the greatest effect on him. I know that the numbers kind of range back to before that started.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's no way this is helping by putting all this on his plate. When you have a veteran who, I'm just going to put it bluntly, is over the fucking moon, dude. That's not the phrase.
Wow.
Over the shark?
Hill?
Over the moon means really happy. Over the shark? Is that the phrase?
Over the hill was what I
over
was
the hill.
You say. Why shark? Where the hell did that come from?
Jump the shark. When you jump the shark as a TV show, that means like you suck now.
Jumping the shark.
It's a phrase that goes back to happy days, dude.
Means that a creative work or entity has evolved and reached a point in which it has exhausted its core intent and is
Yeah.
introducing new ideas that are discordant with or an extreme exaggeration of its original theme or purpose. Never heard that before, but
So, like in Happy Days, there was this episode where they were jet skiing.
what is Happy Days?
Like Fonzie. You know Fonz? The Fonz? You don't know the fucking Fonz?
I've heard
Leather
of it.
jacket hits the jukebox. Hey, that Fonz?
I'm 25.
It was a very popular television
That's why
show.
I thought you were. This is why I was saying you were like 10 in '86.
Look up Happy Days
Happy
the Fonz.
Days.
You'll recognize him.
Happy
Henry
Days.
Winkler.
First episode date 1974. I told you. I knew you were at least 10 during that World Series.
Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days. Whatever, dude.
74 to 84. You're saying you weren't born? This is before your alleged time, but I think it was. I think this was your childhood.
That it was my childhood on TV land, bro. Okay, I had culture.
74
in
to
my
84.
veins.
You were watching that live.
As a child, I loved vintage television. I still do.
Which
Anyway,
means you were born in at least like 70 because you would have had to be at least 4 to like comprehend it.
there's an episode where Fonzie is jet skiing and he jumps over a shark, and a lot of people point to it as the exact moment that Happy Days started to suck. That they're like, oh,
That's where the thing came from?
that's where the phrase
That
comes from.
sucks so hard for them.
Yeah, exactly. But like, that's the moment people were like, this show is no longer what it was. And now it's a phrase. So like when like Game of Thrones in the final season starts doing like crazy dragon shit or whatever fans are upset about. I didn't watch that show. It jumped the shark. Trevor Story has jumped the shark. He is no longer what he was. He was a defensive wizard who also had an all-star bat. He was in the Derby. He was in the fucking Derby.
Yeah.
And none of that is true right now. And
His savant is bad.
the thing is, like, there will come a day where Trevor Story goes 4 for 5 and has, you know, a bomb and 2 doubles. And there will be a week where it's like Trevor Story hit 418 this week. And we'll be like, oh, Trevor Story's back. No, he's not back. I'm sure he will have a hot stint here and there. The fact that they are holding on to him, keeping him at short, keeping him clogging up the premier defensive position in the infield, when you have a top prospect ready to fucking go, and that you are also manipulating your other top prospects' development by moving him all around the whole field. Forget the infield. It's all around the field. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, Trevor Story has no business being at shortstop anymore. Kristian Campbell has no right, or he has no right to play first base. He has no business being moved around the way he is. Like, I only feel it with stronger conviction as the days go by. And here's the thing, Scott, I'm looking in your eyes right now, and you are starting to feel it too. You're starting to feel, maybe I was wrong about this. Maybe Trevor Story should be over there because they're putting a lot on Campbell, and Trevor Story kind of blows ass.
Here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of issues with this clubhouse. Not like inside info, just like there's been a lot of drama for May 21st.
Yeah.
I think moving a leader around like that will also be a problem. I know you say you don't care, but also you're going to have Meyer in the infield no matter what. You found a way to do it. I think it makes sense to move the young guy than the old guy. I know why you're saying the opposite. I just feel like Campbell, honestly, this might be his, like, you have been anti, this is his future home. Trevor Story's been really, really bad. He's in the 10th percentile for outs above average. Kristian Campbell is in the 5th percentile for outs above average. He also shouldn't be a middle infielder. He sucks at it. He's worse than Trevor Story at second base than Trevor Story is at short. Short is more important. I understand that. But I still think moving him to second is better than having Campbell play second. It should be Campbell first, Story second, Meyer short. I still don't think that happens. I still think that they're going to put Meyer at second. But it's not like we're dealing with a bunch of defensive stalwarts all over the place. Two of these guys stink defensively.
You're right about that. You're right about that. That I can get behind. Two of them stink. I don't
Campbell's stats overall actually are really bad savant-wise. That's actually
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's had a tough month, and he's only been up
231.
here for 2 months. So
Yeah. No, I know. I get it. I'm not freaking out. It's just a lot of blue. A lot more blue than I expected.
Yeah.
Also, he's 19th in arm strength percentile. So
I'm not saying put him at short. I'm just saying keep him at fucking second. And even then, I'm not the biggest proponent of keeping him at second either. It's just like find a home for him. Find somewhere where he goes. And second is just the biggest hole you have. You have a shortstop ready to go.
I will say, I don't think Campbell's that bad at second. Like, he's made some impressive plays. No. I don't ever expect him to make a throw on the run or anything like that, and he's made some. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have a problem where everybody's not great defensively, so it's kind of like shuffling around a bunch of bad pieces and trying to figure out how to make it work, and there's really no like solution.
Yeah, I just think
I'm with you, Meyer.
Anything that prohibits your best fielder, because you're saying two of them stink.
No, I'm with you on Meyer to short.
That's it. That's all I'm really getting at here is like, I don't care all too much which way the right side of the infield is flip-flopped. But those two have got to be on your right side of the infield, like, and just give Meyer the fucking position that he has played, that he's deserved, that he's earned. That's all. And in my mind, it's an easier switch to just fucking put Story there.
Yeah.
Let him die there. Not let him die there. Let him play out the rest of his career there. You know what I mean? Let his career die there. That's what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. It's just ugly, man. It's ugly. And when you're talking about two of your infielders being good and two of them being bad, that stinks. And one of them's not even here. One of the good ones isn't even here. And all we're asking is like, get him here and put him at the position he plays. I think that's pretty realistic and like logical. Like, put the guy in the infield who's better than the other guy who's in the infield.
Series MVP.
Series MVP. I don't know if you have the numbers up. I'll give you a minute to get the numbers up. I have Carlos Narvaez. I just think that how many opportunities are we going to get to do that, for one thing? And also that bomb was just so, it was like the reason that they won that game. Here, let me pull it up. I'm going to guarantee he leads this series in OPS. He does. 1255, batted 400, 4 for 10, played all 3 games, had the homer. How many RBI? Just the one. Just the one. That feels wrong, but he does. A double and a homer. 4 for 10.
Okay.
You can follow us on the socials at ITM_pod.
No, dude, come on.
What?
Dude.
What?
Stop it.
Dude, you stop it, dude.
We got to... Dude, come on.
What?
We got to do the pitching preview.
Oh, okay, folks, it is 4 more games at Fenway Park, if you can believe that, against the Baltimore Orioles. Game 1 is going to be Lucas Giolito versus Cade Povich. Lucas Giolito has a 7.08 ERA through 4 starts. How many home runs? 5 home runs in 20 1/3 innings. His FIP is 550, if that matters to you. What else can you possibly say? Cade Povich. His breaking balls are among the worst in baseball. His changeup is his best pitch, but throws his curve and his sweeper more. Both of them get fucking crushed. 500 and 633 slug, respectively. Watch for those to be demolished. Game 2 is going to be Brian Bayo versus Charlie Morton. Brian Bayo no es bueno ahora. A 1.691 whip. Woof. Has not gone 5 innings since May 2nd. Since then, he has a 5.93 ERA with 12 walks and 8 strikeouts in 13 1/3 innings. Charlie Morton, outdoors. He's a little out there. Okay, he's a lot out there. Catch the Mad Fisherman Thursday on Nesson 360 at 10 a.m. or whenever the fuck it's on. Only on Nesson. Game 3 is going to be Hunter Dobbins versus Zach Eflin. Hunter Dobbins ranks in the 96th percentile in walk percentage. Through his four-seamer less this past start than any other start this year, which gives some hope that his splitter will see more action, which opponents are currently hitting 125 against versus the 333 clip batters are hitting against his four-seam. Zach Eflin is one of the only pitchers with a better walk rate than Dobbins, sitting in the 99th percentile. His cutter is his best pitch. Everything else blows ass. In Game 4, it's going to be Walker Buehler versus Dean Kremer. Walker Buehler's return was cut short by an angry bald man with bad eyesight and a fragile ego. He will get another shot to bring his 4.0 ERA down another notch at Fenway again. And Dean, the cream machine Kremer, 5.50 ERA in 10 starts. Dude actually sucks, and that is going to do it for your pitching preview. It's supposed to rain all day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Scott. I don't know what that means. I think we might get 2 doubleheaders, to be honest, if they can squeeze them in. I don't know. This might be a reschedule a game or 2 out of this series. I'm not sure.
Tomorrow's not happening. Tomorrow's definitely not happening.
No, I got to look at the time of the precipitation because all I looked at was like the day, and it says it's rain, so I assumed it's just raining straight.
A rain nor'easter, dude. They can't play.
There's absolutely no chance that they play the Thursday game.
I'm calling it now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's no shot.
I'm postponing the game right now.
Friday, I think they will. Friday, it looks like they will. The chance of precipitation drops as the day goes on. And Saturday, I'm going to go ahead and say Thursday gets called. They play the doubleheader Friday. If they can do that, they might have to do the doubleheader Saturday because it rains Friday morning. I don't know. It's going to be a mess. My guess, no game Thursday, game Friday, doubleheader Saturday, game Sunday.
I agree.
We were wrong last series.
Super, exactly opposite. We've been good this season. We couldn't have been more wrong last series.
They almost had a sweep on their hands. I really thought they were going to win game 3.
I know. We did say they were going to win game 3 and lose the first 2. So
we had it exactly backwards. Yeah. The Orioles stink.
Dude,
that's something to remember.
If this was a 3-gamer, I would consider a sweep.
They've lost 7 in a row, I think the Orioles have. Am I right there?
Can I also say, I think this, by the way, this rain situation should be an advantage for us.
Why is that?
I know that the Red Sox are taxed, but the off day helps. Hear me out here. Mm-hmm. Their rotation absolutely stinks.
Oh, sure.
What do you do? What do you do when a doubleheader happens? You call on a 27th man who's also a pitcher. Typically ends up doing a spot start. They don't necessarily have to do that, but it could be a spot start situation. You're gonna have an extra pitcher probably pitch meaningful innings because they kind of have to in these situations. They don't have enough to field a starting 5 rotation. Never mind their depth. We get into that depth, or what are we talking about? The Red Sox should mash this series.
They should. They also have. It's the 4 of their starters who are there. So it's Povich, Martin. It's Povich, Morton, Eflin, Kremer. And granted, Kremer stinks out loud. And I didn't even look at Charlie Morton's numbers. I'm assuming they're bad. I just did the Charlie Moore bit.
5.23. You already did it. 5.23 ERA for Povich. 7.68 for Charlie Morton. 5.08 for Eflin, and 5.5 for Kremer. So come on. And then they got to bring in some guy that probably spot starts, or at least ends up in some important situation. Come on.
Yeah. Some good news. Because there is an odd number of games at this moment, and this is a 4-game series. The Red Sox can't possibly be 500 after this series.
I was going to. I didn't know it was a 4-game series. Good thing you did the pitching preview. I was going to say we go 1-2 just because that's been the thing that's been the constant about the Red Sox for the last 5 years or whatever it's been. But
I think they hit 500 twice in this series.
How would they do that?
Win one.
26
and 26.
And then win one, lose one. And then they can do whatever they want.
Lose one, win one.
So you think 3?
I think they win 3 out of 4.
I'm with that. I'll go 3 for 4. They might flirt with a sweep.
They kind of need to. The Red Sox, as of tonight, only team in the AL East to lose tonight. They are officially in 3rd place in the American League East.
They do need to go on a run. Not soon, but it would help now to because you probably need another run down the stretch.
Yep.
Would help.
Now would be a great time. And 4 games against the Orioles, who did have a 7-game losing streak, just won. So they are now 2-8 in their last 10. This would be a great time to make up some ground. Just beat them, would you? Just beat them.
Agreed.
You got anything else?
I got something, but it's more like a...
Woo! Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. What do you got? It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott.
What do you got, dude?
I'm not rooting for this by any means, but I had this moment when Rafaela got hit with the pitch. Where I was like, if he just broke his pinky, we're talking about all this stuff forcing on the roster. He was one broken pinky away from Roman Anthony being on this team.
I know, dude.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it makes you think. We get so frustrated with all the moves that are making. Most decisions are made not by the Red Sox, but by the circumstances. And as I've said forever, unfortunately, all the injuries have gone at first base. It's been Romy and Casas. It's an injury could happen at any second. I mean, Wilyer Abreu broke his ankle tripping down the stairs last year. Didn't actually break it. He sprained it, but he was up for a long time tripping down the stairs. One of those things happens in the infield or the outfield, and Marcelo Meyer or Roman Anthony are on this team. So I don't know. I just had that moment where I was like, in my head, I don't see Roman Anthony really that close, which is ridiculous, but I just don't know what they do with their outfield healthy. And then the second he got hit, I was like, actually, that's literally all it takes.
Yeah. It's fucked up to say, but when I saw him running, when I saw him taken first, I was like, you sure? Sure you don't want to go down the tunnel, get checked out? You sure? It's like, he is right there. He is right there. I would sooner wish that they just call him up and make room for him than somebody get hurt. But I mean, listen.
They're not going to. It doesn't seem like.
They're not gonna. I got some thoughts. If that's all you got.
Yep.
It was cats at the ballpark day today at Polar Park in Worcester. I haven't seen the outcome of that, but I can't imagine that went well. They do dogs at the ballpark day everywhere, and I love the Woo Sox being like, let's switch it up. Let's do cats at the ballpark. And I'm a self-admitted cat guy. I like cats. I got cats. And would love to take the cats down to the ballpark. I just can't imagine it went well.
How many do you think went lost? Wouldn't they all get lost? You don't collar, you don't leash those things.
You do. You put like a harness on them.
Do you do that? Do you have that?
Yeah. I got a harness. I got a backpack. I got a harness.
I've never seen like a cat walked on the streets before.
I'll take them out sometimes. Yeah. And then I have this like big play net thing. It almost looks like it's made for toddlers. It's like a big like tunnel that's like made of screen. And I put them in that out in the yard sometimes and just let them.
That I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen that outside. And I've never seen, I don't know, cats just don't seem to go outside. And I think they would.
Yeah.
The thing is, they don't care about you, and they don't care about, like, I would think they would just run off and not care.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the thing is, if I brought Goose to a ballpark, he would just stay on my lap. He wouldn't go anywhere.
yeah, they also wouldn't care at all about baseball the way that dogs would, in an almost dangerous way, but they'd be locked and loaded.
Yeah.
I
Dogs
don't-
see a
I would-
ball flying. They're locked
Yeah.
in. Cats, they
doesn't do
don't
anything.
care.
And
Yeah.
also, like, I would think a cat would, I would think they would just get up and just like bolt off of about nothing and then never come back because they're cats.
So I want to see the outcome there because that's what I imagine happened.
A lot.
But I got to see it. And the last thing I got, Michael Felger, dude.
Oh yeah, that guy sucks.
Eat my shorts, man. What a
Really gave it to
bozo.
him.
What a clown. What a knucklehead this guy is.
He has got to have a strong take about everything, huh? I mean, that's his literal job, but like we do it too. We don't do it like assholes.
It's like, just don't be Darth Vader for one day of your life. You know, you got to be the dark side. You have to bring balance to the Force. Like, you fucking dingbat.
Whoa.
Ugh. In case you missed it, he got on Cora for missing game one to be at his daughter's graduation, which the Red Sox had already won when he was shitting on Cora for doing that. So that's awesome. I think that Michael Felger should be Clockwork Oranged. Like, I
don't know what
think
that
he
means.
should be sat down in a chair and put the eyelid things on and made to watch his own show. Like, look at what you fucking did. Look at it. Look at what you said. Hear your words. Do you think a good person says those words or a bad person says those words? Like, that's how I speak to Seb. Not quite like that. But like, they do something, a toddler, and you say, do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing? Was that a nice thing to do or was that a mean thing to do? And they'll realize and they'll go, that was a mean thing. You go, yeah, so maybe we shouldn't do that again, right? Because it will hurt somebody's feelings. That's how Mike Felger needs to be spoken to. You have to sit him down and be like, were those nice words you said about Alex Cora or were those mean words? Yeah, mean, right? So we don't want to hurt Alex's feelings because Alex is a nice guy, right? Alex is our friend. So we don't want to upset him because that's not very nice, right, Michael? So what we're going to do is we're going to say sorry. And then we're going to think before we talk next time and not say mean words. Fuck you, you fucking asshole, loser. If you had a family to go home to that wanted to see you, maybe you would feel differently. Okay. That's enough. Not there. I am saying not nice words, but whatever. Who cares? You can follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46. Just like how many more days we're going to have to wait to see Marcelo Meyer up at the major league level. For Scott Neville, I'm Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.